So I think of 3 C's: control, confidence, character.
Okay.
Control, confidence, character. That is what's at stake for your Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
First and foremost, control of the NFC East. Everybody thought, including myself, Cowboys were going to sprint away with this NFC East. And it still looks like they got full control of the NFC East. But the Eagles have now won 3 out of their last 4. The Cowboys have now lost 2 out of their last 3. And just like that, what the Cowboys had handedly, which was control of the NFC East, they no longer have so handedly. Now, they still got 3 games.
There you go.
But you lose to the Raiders. You still got to play the Cardinals at the end of the season. You still, Cowboys, have to play the Eagles again later on in the season. That control of the NFC East, which the Cowboys appeared to have had, all of a sudden, they don't have so much of. First C, control. Second C, confidence.
Okay.
So, you something happens once, it's a fluke.
Yeah, I heard.
Something happens a second time, it's a coincidence.
Okay.
But something happens a third time, in my mind, it's a habit.
It's a habit?
First time you lose to the Broncos, we all knew that was a fluke. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
Right? Lose to the Broncos, not a big deal. It's a fluke. But then you lose to the Chiefs. Okay. It's a coincidence. I mean, Amari Cooper is out when we play the Chiefs. CeeDee Lamb gets knocked out when we play the Chiefs. Coincidental. That happens when you play a team that's gaining some traction in the Chiefs. But if you lose to the Raiders, now it's a habit. Now it's no longer a fluke loss like the Broncos, a coincidental loss like the Chiefs. Now it's just a habitual type of thing.
Habitual?
Second C, confidence. Third C for the Dallas Cowboys, character. Now I'm starting to wonder, what is the actual character of this football team that you could lose a game at home to the Broncos, you could lose a game at home to the Raiders. Now, what's the actual character of this Cowboys football team? Are you elite? Or did you catch lightning in a bottle for 8 games through a season? Are you Super Bowl contenders? Or did Trayvon Diggs really usher you through a couple of games that you should have lost?
Acho.
Are you actually top tier in the NFL or just top in the NFC East? Which one is it? Confidence, character, control. Those 3 C's are at stake in this Thanksgiving game.
Man, you laid that out pretty well. I wrote down your grade on that paper right there. I gave you an A+ over an F. I need an A+ for structure. You know, your teachers do that. And then you get your paper back, and she had to grab this pen. Woo! And if she put her glasses on the tip of her nose and grabbed this pen, it's hell to pay, bro. You got hell to pay right now. Acho, stop it, man. The only thing at play right here, only thing at stake for the Cowboys is it's a thin line between faith and doubt. Ooh, like that. That's it. Faith. I'm talking about real biblical faith. Like, hey, what you don't believe? Oh, you're not gonna walk over this water. Versus that doubt bird. Is this Dallas Stadium? Jerry's World? It can land here if the Cowboys don't handle business. It can land here, but I don't think it will. When I look at the calculation of this Dallas Cowboys mindset, what I see is a calculator with an addition symbol, but not a subtraction symbol. I don't see how you can lose that much faith in yourself if you're the Cowboys, even in a loss. Why? Because what's at stake? They are 3 up in the loss column. And as you know, as a former player, our coaches would come in there and fans be talking about, oh, man, what's going on in the division? They got 6 wins, you got 7. Coach be like, we 3 up in the loss column. Loss column is all he gave a damn about. And that's the Dallas Cowboys. Even in the loss, they're 2 up on a team they've already beaten. Oh, Acho. So now you know you're playing with the books. These Dallas Cowboys are primed to get this win. But what's at stake is, what can they lose? What can they lose? They still be 2 up on a team they already beat. They're already going to have the confidence to play that same team. That's the only team that's really surging in that division, it seems like. Washington is in there for some reason, but I don't really have that much faith in them. So it's the Dallas Cowboys' prime pole position to go out there and handle business. I don't really think this is a must-win game. I don't think this is a must-win for confidence game. What I do believe is they can add to what they are right now if they get the running game back on track, if they get healthy up front, if the wide receivers, whatever core they're going to mail out there tomorrow night, is going to be something that we can see they can evolve into something positive. All those things are addition symbols. But none of these things could take away from this team because they're still going to be able to hide behind the confidence of, we're hurt. hey, we're not on track. We haven't gelled together just yet. So respect to the Cowboys for where they at, because they put themselves in this position and not much is at stake.
Okay, let's talk about what you did at least agree is at stake.
Okay.
Thin line between faith and doubt.
Yeah.
Confidence, I'm saying the same thing. One of those points.
Yeah.
If you lose to the Broncos at home and you lose to the Raiders at home, even if you do handle my first C, which is control, and you do control the NFC East,
right,
and that means you host a playoff game.
Okay.
What is hosting a playoff game if home field means nothing?
There you go.
So at a minimum, Sel, home field, you got to protect this house, old Under Armour slogan. But what we also talked about in locker rooms, we'll let y'all preview into this. Our coaches would say, hey, let's win every home game and let's split the road game.
Yes.
You win every home game, you split the road games. Back when there was a 16-game schedule, you would end up somewhere at 12-4, 11-5, 10-6, 13-3. If you can just somehow manipulate some of that. Win all at home, split the road, you're going to be all right.
Yeah.
But Cowboys, if you drop a game to the Broncos at home, you drop a game to the Raiders at home, then what is home field? I remember 2016. I am not so young to have not remembered nor have been at the game where the Cowboys hosted the Packers. Got the first round bye 2016. They were 13-3. Packers come into Green Bay. I believe it was that game. Packers come into the Cowboys AT&T Stadium, and Aaron Rodgers, with a minute left, makes that one play,
miracle,
tiptoe sideline. All of a sudden, field goal position, game over. What is home field advantage if you lose to the Raiders after having lost to the Broncos? Yeah, Sel, I don't think it's a must-win.
Okay.
Because it's not like the Eagles will take control of the NFC East if the Cowboys lose. Eagles still got a lot of work to do. But they do have the easiest remaining schedule. Y'all go look. They got the Giants twice. They got Washington twice. They got the Cowboys. And they got somebody else that ain't all that good. So Eagles do have a chance, but this block ain't about the Eagles. It's about the Cowboys. And if they lose, I'm with you at least on the doubt birds are starting to land.
You know why this block is not about the Eagles? Because it's never going to be about the Eagles. It's always going to be about them Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? And you know what's interesting about the Cowboys? Everything gets exaggerated with them, the good and the bad. Right now, we're leaning towards the decline, so we're leaning towards the bad, which is exaggerated because we're talking about this. In the A block, let's talk about this. This takes me back to a couple of stories, a little story time. But first, you just said, coaches always said, win all at home and then split the road, right? My coaches said the same thing. Also, coaches used to say, hey, man, it's all about the loss column, right? Wait a minute. Are we starting to realize that coaches, they all the same? It's like Bill Belichick and then all the rest of y'all. They all say the same damn thing. Why we respond differently? I don't get that. Another thing I just had to point out in tidbit, you said we must protect this house. Short story real quick. I was in Dallas, 2004, had a teammate, a backup defensive end by the name of Eric Obagu. You know him? Big E, right?
Yeah.
People don't know this. Under Armour started in the Dallas Cowboys locker room because E used to show up with all these shirts, and we all wore Nike, right? And we were like, these feel different. I can't say better, but let's try a few. And they were free. And then the next thing you know, we saw E did a commercial. We must protect this house. And he was yoked up, right? Is he Nigerian?
Yeah, Nigerian.
Okay, that's why. All right, I get it. I get family. Point being, he's like an executive at Under Armour right now doing all that stuff. But it started in our locker room with just open duffel bags of Under Armour. Respect to that company. Now let's talk about these Dallas Cowboys. Here's story time. I don't know if you notice about me, Acho, because I don't talk too personal about myself. But I did win the national championship in track, and I was a national record holder.
I thought you was going to say something meaningful, Sel.
No.
I genuinely thought you had me fooled.
No, I can act, but I'm not an actor. Here's the thing. My father is an early riser. My dad, he's the one at the airport 2 hours before check-in and at the gate, the first dude. But he ain't in first class. He's just the first dude at the gate. He always got to be first to something, right? So my track meets, my dad used to get there first. Pole position, finish line. Sit up there, reserve a little section for us and me and the family, right? But you can't reserve the whole stands. You can reserve your little bench area, right? So then we got our little area. They ready to see me run my races, and I always won. And then they pumped up. And then my uncle used to always show up late, Uncle Junior. Fresh, though. Fresh. And then Uncle Junior realized he can't sit up at the finish line because guess what? Ain't no room. Everybody there to see Marcellus, Wiley, Dallas Cowboys, right? So then my uncle would get slit. He would go to the backside on the straightaway, like 150 yard, ain't that many people over there, and say, yeah, I'm going to yell at nephew, let him know how he doing in the race. Remind you, Uncle, when I see you, it's at the 150 marker before 400. But here's my uncle, fresh to death with some chili cheese Fritos. All right, what you doing? Pick him up, elbows. Let's go, let's go. And in my mind, every time I race in front of my uncle, I'd be like, will he shut up? This race ain't over. No matter what's happening right now. Yeah, I see that little dude in front of me about 2 yards. Guess what? He always fades out at the end. My point is this. The Dallas Cowboys are looking at people like Acho, who is now the uncle in the velour suit eating chili cheese Fritos, saying, what y'all doing? Y'all losing all these games since the bye week. Man, they know how to finish this race. They know how to win this division. When Dak is healthy, he's never had a losing season. Show some respect. Get there early. See how it finishes before you start hampering on how bad it is.
I'm with you on that, Seth. I'm with you on that. But now let me personalize some things. Y'all know this much. I'm a man of faith, right? Pops is a pastor, grew up in the church, all that. I love faith, right? Faith, the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things unseen. That's great. I do love it.
Ooh, you broke that down.
But you know what I love more than faith?
What?
I love proof.
Okay, I'm with you.
I love me some faith.
Ooh,
I live my life based upon faith.
Wait a second. Can we stop?
Stop down.
Do you really want to do this right now? You need proof of... You need proof? Or
one day I will have proof.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Me? I love faith, but I love even more than that is proof.
I'm with you now.
And what the Cowboys are giving us all right now is we got faith in the Cowboys, evidence of things unseen. Well, I trust that Dak is going to get them back right. I trust that CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs can make a great Super Bowl run. I trust that the Broncos' loss was a fluke. I trust that the Chiefs' loss was because offensive line was injured. I trust that Zeke will get back right even though his knee is still somewhat banged up. Right. I trust that Connor McGovern, if he starts again at left guard, will be better than Connor Williams. I trust. Substance of things hoped for. I'm tired of having faith with these Cowboys.
Whoa.
What I want is proof. And what they can do against the Raiders is prove some things. Because I love the faith you have in the Cowboys, Marcellus Wiley, but only person I really trying to put my faith in is God. I ain't trying to out here put my faith in Dak Prescott. I'd rather have
no idolatry
from Dak Prescott. I'd rather have proof from Ezekiel Elliott. I'd rather have proof from these Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy included. So faith to me is cool, but what the Cowboys can do, what is at stake is proving something. What is at stake is removing the faith, removing the doubt, removing the concerns, removing the hope, removing all of these verbal jargons that we use in church, and putting things down on the field.
What church you go to?
Multiple.
Multiple? I could tell. You're all over the place. Look, let me tell you this. I ain't going to church with you no more. You just let this come out your mouth. Faith is cool and all, but...
I want proof.
Hey, you want proof?
One day our substance will be our eyes.
Don't rush that proof, because you know when you're going to get your proof. I'm like, co-host killer. He working again. You're going to be dead. Talking about I got proof. Hell no, I'm going to be alive. Talking about I believe. I got faith in these Cowboys. Why do I have faith in the Cowboys? Because Acho, boy, working with you, it's like you make me believe in stuff I know I don't believe in. And it's like that's a testimony to you. That's a testament to how good and how well you prove your points, even though I don't believe in your points. Like, you got me thinking that Dak is suspect. And then I'm like, Dak ain't suspect. What are you talking about, Shaggy? Dak has 100+ passer rating in 5 of his last 7 games. That ain't suspect. What you're really trying to tell me is, look, gel together, so we can have confidence, belief, faith, and then maybe some proof that you guys are going to really do something in the postseason. But as I remind you, as I reminded my uncle when I gave him that little side eye, like, dog, we're not there yet. 12 games in the last season. We didn't see it from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're right now in the same point of a season. We're not necessarily seeing it from anybody outside the Arizona Cardinals if they get their quarterback situation healthy. We're not seeing it from anybody. So why would the Dallas Cowboys feel like they're out of something, therefore something's at stake?
At a minimum, let's at least request this.
Let's request
no more losses to bad teams. When I think about it, I can only really say confidently only 2 teams have not lost to bad teams. Arizona Cardinals with Kyler Murray. Their loss was to Aaron Rodgers, and with their backup Colt McCoy, they lost to the Niners.
That layer under, that wasn't the Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay Packers, but Aaron Rodgers was still present. Facts.
Slackers.
But Rodgers was still present, and Adams was still present. So that's got to count for something.
I'm with you.
And the Chiefs, surprisingly, all 4 of their losses, none are to bad teams. The worst team is your Chargers. So, like, none of their losses, in my mind, to bad teams. Cowboys, they got a loss to a bad team. Broncos lose to the Raiders, lost to another bad team, particularly these Raiders. All of these teams, though, got losses to bad teams, except the Chiefs, except the Cardinals. If the Cowboys lose to the Raiders, now you got a couple losses to bad teams. Don't keep losing to bad teams, because come to playoffs, ain't no bad teams, Coach. Ain't no bad teams. Everybody got talent.
But see, you fall into the trap that you said you would never fall into. That's why we love track and field.
What's that?
Like, that runner is the same dude all around that track. Mm-hmm. But the Indianapolis Colts in week 2 ain't the same team. And the Chiefs,
true that.
You know, you lose to that team at that time when Carson Wentz is like, what's the second play on the script? And then now this team, completely different. I understand your point. My point is this. Dak is on pace to have career highs. Dak Prescott. Career highs, completion percentage, passing touchdowns, something you really care for. And this team is primed to do something special this year. As I look at the NFC playoff standings, in the loss column, they're only one back to the Cardinals, who you say haven't lost to a bad team. Mm-hmm. So just think about how you can really moxie this up and how you can make this cocktail where the Cowboys feel really good about themselves. And if you feel that good about yourself, even if you take a step back, you shouldn't look at the season as a loss, or you certainly shouldn't look at this game as a loss.